Welcome. I'm Sharon, your host, a third-year student at MIT Manipal, and in this video, we'll be talking about everything that you need to know before or after entering this college. This was actually going to be one long video about the academics with an entire section dedicated towards attendance because it is so tied to academics. But that video would have been over 30 minutes long. So here's sort of a part 1. You can watch the second part of the series right here if it has already been posted. With that being said, let's dive right in. The main thing, you have to maintain 75% attendance. This is mandatory and monitored very carefully. So, if you want to go to a college where you will have tons of free time and the attendance is just naam ke vaaste, you won't even have to go to class, do not come to MIT at all. You will regret it your entire 4 years over here. Only in case of solid medical proof will you be able to appear for the endsem with less than 75% attendance. But even in those cases, it still has to be above 65%. So, sadly, if someone falls sick in the middle of the semester or at the start and has to be constantly in and out of the hospital or unfortunately go back home, they'll have to repeat the entire semester. There is no other option. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is what it is. We can't do anything about that. What happens when you have attendance shortage? You won't be able to appear for the endsem. On your hall ticket, the specific subject is going to be marked with a D, which stands for detained. You'll have to repeat the entire course all over again. The same thing happens if you fail your makeups as well. As a first year, I was crap scared. I did not miss even a single class or lab in the fears of getting detained. Now, till second or third year, you'll obviously be able to calculate how much of an attendance you will need to be on the safer side. The number of classes of a theory subject depends on the number of credits associated with it. You'll only ever have two credit theory courses, both in your first year, chemistry cycle and physics cycle, which are EVS and English. For theory, 1 credit stands for 1 hour of class per week. So, in a 3 credit theory course, you'll have 3 1-hour-long classes in a week, and for a 4 credit subject, it's going to be 4 1-hour-long classes throughout the week, which at the end is going to somewhat total to 38 classes for a 3 credit subject and 48 classes for a 4 credit subject. From that, 75% attendance is required, so you will be able to maximum miss 9 or 12 classes respectively. But hear me out, you never actually want to be at the exact edge of 9 or 12 classes. If the teacher ends up at only 44 classes and you've already missed 12, that could potentially land you in some trouble, especially as a lower classman. To be on the safer side, never miss more than 20% of the assigned classes. Personally, I think that the attendance thing is really two-sided. It has both its advantages and disadvantages. But the disadvantages become a lot more significant when you don't understand anything in class. I've had close to 100% attendance in some courses because the teacher was absolutely fantastic and I did not have to refer to any material outside of what was being taught in class. Whereas I have struggled to get till 75 in some courses because it was such a nightmare. My advice? Go to as many classes as possible in the start. Figure out what the curriculum is going to be like, what the coursework is going to entail, if the teacher that is teaching is suitable for your needs, if the course instructor is good and you're able to follow their teachings, attend their classes diligently, make notes, ask doubts, solve problems, interact with the professor, and for the others, just go to their classes and devise other methods to study on your own. I would say that there is one small thing good about the attendance criteria. Socializing is so much easier when you know people in your class, especially when you're really new to the college and are starting all over. First semester, don't know anyone, everyone's going through the same boring thing. That can forge some really strong friendships, mind you. It did for me. So, go to the academic blocks. You'll you'll be on track with all the topics covered and what pace the class is going at. So even if you can't understand the lecturer, just try to listen. Even some form of familiarity is going to boost your prep when you sit down and look at the slides on your laptop for the first time ever. If they teach using PowerPoint, make that your first study session. I do it now and it works wonders. Even in labs, the same thing is true. Generally, 12 are conducted. But if you miss more than 2 and all 12 aren't conducted, you will be at a risk of an attendance shortage. It never really happens though, because if there are just 11 labs conducted, the professor always counts the endsem lab as one of the labs that has been conducted. But some professors might ask you to repeat a third missed lab. If you get detained or failed in the labs, you'll have to repeat them in the semester break. Odd semester labs in the winter and even semester labs in the summer. All of it is immediately after the endsems. So, before the endsems even start, the department is going to roll out a list of the people who failed so that they can make arrangements and stay back. Pre-registrations, you can take only the even semester subjects in the next even semester and the odd semester subjects in the next odd semester. For example, if you fail to clear a course in your second semester, you'll be able to take that up again only in your fourth semester. Third semester, couldn't clear the course. Fifth semester, you'll have to clear it. I explained this in the first year curriculum videos where you have physics cycle and the chemistry cycle, alternatively depending on what part of the batch you get segregated in. One half of the batch is going to have physics cycle in the first semester and chemistry cycle in the second, whereas for the other half, it is going to be flipped. So they'll have chemistry cycle first and then physics cycle second. Sometimes they do let you take up the first semester re-registration courses in the second semester because they're practically the same courses. You can just take it again at that time. But you'll have to take it up with the administration. Generally, you just repeat it in your third or fourth semester depending on wherever you were originally placed. Even in the first re-registration, if you don't pass, you'll have to take it again and again until you do eventually clear the subject. Re-registration means that you need to do the entire thing from scratch. You're starting from a fresh slate. So attend all classes again, give all the quizzes, give the midterms again, appear for the MISACs and the FISACs, and then sit for the endsem. Nothing that you have done previously counts. You could think of it as a boon sometimes. A C in the makeups versus an A plus in the re-registrations. Well, I would choose to have a C in the makeups, but some people do actually go for the re-registration because it can supercharge your CGPA by quite a bit. Try to clear all your backlogs before the placement season comes around. A lot of companies set filters and most of them have this criteria that the person should not be having any backlogs, which means no active backlogs. You've already cleared the backlogs, if any. You're back. Every year, you need to fulfill a certain number of credits to be able to get promoted to the next year. To get to second year from first year, you need to have 26 credits, which means if you failed in too many subjects and the number of subjects that you've passed in don't have their credits add up to 26 at the minimum, you'll have to redo your entire first year all over again. The same thing at the end of second year, I think it's 44 credits, and at the end of third year, 72. You get a year back, you graduate a year later. Please try your hardest to not get a year back at any cost. That is all the things that I had to say about this topic. Drop in the comments what you'd like to see next. To know more about academics at Manipal, watch this video. As always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!